Hey, my friend, what's up? It's Keith Kelfis. And before we dive into this episode, I just want to say, sometimes when I record these podcasts, I'm outside. I'm on a job site. I'm on the go. So I apologize if you hear any background noises or anything going on. And let's jump into the show. I'm driving in my car right now to go see my accountant to pick up my taxes and pay my final year-end payments. That's all good. But anyways, I have a lot of stuff that I just want to get off my chest. This is about success, about abundance, about failure, about fears, and about how I was lied to when all growing up. You know, finally, I have 2 six-figure businesses. That sounds weird saying that to me because I never thought I would be saying something like that. My internet business is a 6-figure business. It means it does over $100,000 in revenue, and I have a landscape business that's done well over $100,000 of revenue for forever now. And so here's what happens when you finally start making the money. And that's what I want to say. I want to ask you, like, what happens when you finally start making quote unquote good money? What happens? And sometimes, like, I can go back to remember when I was working a bunch of dead-end jobs, cutting grass for 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour. I remember working in a collision shop in the middle of the winter, detailing cars for $9 an hour. I was broke my whole life. For 30 years, I was broke. And there was times I was so completely depressed because I felt like, oh my God, it's never going to happen for me. I'm going to live my entire life like this. I've tried so hard. I've worked so hard. I've read so many books. It's just not going to happen for me. I've had those thoughts so many times and just kept pressing forward despite all odds. And the biggest thing I want to say is when you get around successful people, that is the number one thing you can do to increase your success. Because I'm like the brokest friend I have. All my friends have 7, multiple 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. I'm like the brokest friend I have. But, you know, you think that if you finally have a 6-figure business, you're going to go buy a drop-top Corvette. You're going to go on cruises. You're going to take a vacation to Hawaii. You're going to buy a $500,000 house. And just for reference, a $500,000 house I'm from Michigan, would probably be like a $5 million house in California. So the pricing is totally different, right? My little tiny house in Michigan would probably be $1 million house in California. But so that's funny talking about that. So here's what I have done, especially in the past year or two. I bought a bed. My wife and I, first, like 4 years we were together, we were sleeping on her little tiny twin bed that was passed down to her from her older brother, who was a hockey player. And the thing had been around for like 18, 20 years. And then we were sleeping on this piece of crap. And it was horrible. And then we finally saved up when we lived in this 1-bedroom apartment. And hear me out. Listen to what I'm going to say. This is powerful. We finally got like a decent queen-size mattress. And then we had that for 7 years. And our dogs like to sleep on the bed with us. At night, I can't get good sleep because there's no room. So what did I do within the past, month? I bought a $2,400 king-size Beauty Rest mattress. And if you study sleep science, it's like I can't talk about these topics with you because this is not popular topics, but this is the really, really deep shit that makes all the difference. And I'm just going to keep moving forward with this. Okay, so I finally got a nice bed. Growing up, all of my clothes were always in Tupperware containers. Even when I married my wife, the first 5 years, 6 years we were together, we didn't even have dressers or anything. We had those plastic Tupperware drawers, and all our clothes were kept in Tupperware containers. That was normal to me, right? So for the first time ever, we literally have matching furniture. We have an actual adult bedroom set with real dressers. Now, when I was a kid, we used to get all of our furniture from the garbage. Literally, my mom would wake me up in the middle of the night, and the mattresses that I slept on growing up were bed bug infested, piss-soaked mattresses that we garbage picked out of the garbage in the ghetto. That's what we slept on. Or I was sleeping on the floor, so I didn't have a choice. My dressers were garbage picked. Everything was garbage picked. Our couch, everything was garbage picked, right? So I grew up so poor that just to have a brand new Tupperware container to put my clothes in, that was a nice dresser to me, a Tupperware container. Just to actually have a bed from a store, that was a brand new bed to me. So when we finally could afford to get a couch, like from the clearance section in the cheapest furniture store, that was a brand new couch to me. You know, we were balling. So last week, my wife was at Costco, and she called me up, and she was excited because there's this brand new couch that she really liked, this sectional couch with this big ottoman. And I don't know how much it was, $1,300, was not too that. I'm like, just buy it. Are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm busy working. Just buy it. And she calls me back, are you sure? I'm like, dude, stop bugging me. Just buy it. She goes, okay. So she bought it. And then now we have this nice, beautiful couch instead of the 7-year-old couch with dog puke stains all over it, right? Our kitchen table. We have had the same kitchen table for 9 years. It was a kitchen table that we had nowhere to eat. We were literally sitting on crates or something eating in our apartment. We had nowhere to eat. And I felt like such a piece of shit when I first got engaged to my wife and we moved in together that I never had a kitchen table my whole life. Like, wait, I think I did have one. Anyways, you know, we had this little tiny kitchen table for like 9 years that was like, had broken chairs, and it was such a pain in the ass to sit at. I don't know, a couple months ago, I bought like this really nice $1,200 beautiful kitchen table, and it's enough to seat a whole family, and it's a nice kitchen table. I'm proud of this kitchen table. And we have a kitchen table. Finally, I can afford to buy new clothes. My whole life, all the clothes that I wore came from the thrift store. They were secondhand, and that was normal to me. So I was excited when I can get nice button-up shirts and khakis and jeans from the thrift store. They were all used old clothes, but they were clothes to me. Now, I don't really care that if I wear name brand clothes or not, but everything I wear is either from Guess or Express. So it's not uncommon for me to have a $60, $80, or $120 pair of jeans on. All of my shirts are name brand, which, trust me, I don't care about this stuff. My wife actually does all my shopping for me. She buys me all my clothes, and she comes home with all this expensive shit. Like, the shirt I'm wearing right now has to be at least $120 to $140 Guess shirt. It's just a button-up shirt. I don't even care. But I have really nice clothes. And, you know, when I was a kid, I was the poorest kid in the school. We had food stamps and welfare. And, you know, I remember going over a couple of my friends' houses because we lived in a split neighborhood. Like, one part of it, it was a middle-class neighborhood. I've lived in like 32 different homes, and I had 37 jobs, 32 homes. But there was a time in my life where I lived in a middle-class neighborhood. But there was these projects. They were like the poorest part of the neighborhood. These projects, and I lived in there. So I had a couple friends that were spoiled, rotten kids that were on like travel hockey teams and shit. And I remember I had this friend, Chad. One time, I walked past and his closet was open. I was hanging out with him over his house, and I look in the closet and I saw Abercrombie and like, you know, Polo and Ralph Lauren. And those are like the clothes you see in like Macy's and shit. Like, I couldn't even fathom how anybody could even afford one of those shirts. If you even got one shirt from Macy's or a pair of Polo jeans, you were going to be evicted from your house. You weren't going to be able to put gas in the tank. You were an idiot if you bought that. And his whole closet was filled with this shit. And I remember going home breaking down crying. And I remember one time I went to a travel hockey game with my friend Chad, and we're in his mom's SUV on the way back. And, you know, every quarter he gets a brand new pair of hockey skates between $300 and $400. And his dad pays for his whole travel hockey. And I can even feel the hurt now. I remember being in the back seat of that SUV, being a little kid. I was a little teenager. And I was trying to hide it, but I was sobbing, crying. And you know what? I got Chad's number. I'm going to call that fucker up right now.
Stick around. Keith returns with more of the Untrapped podcast in just a moment. Hey, if you're looking for what is probably the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, even track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. And if you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and if after the trial you decide you want to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith. And now, Keith Kalfas.
So, when you finally hit a six-figure business, you can finally afford a couch. You can get a bed. You can get tables and chairs. You can finally get a dresser with a matching nightstand. You know what I mean? Like, I remember we bought our house. I mean, bro, we moved into the house and instantly went to Best Buy and just bought a brand new washing machine and dryer, $2,500. Zoink. Bought like I don't know how much our fridge was, probably $2,000 or something. I mean, just swiping my card, buying shit. Because you need that in a house, right? I never had bought a refrigerator in my entire life. Do you know how amazing it feels to be able to walk into a department store and buy a $2,000 refrigerator? Do you know how proud of myself I felt, and I still feel right now, that I was able to buy a house, cover the down payment, the moving costs, move-in fees, pay for all the paint to repaint the house because my wife's a clean freak because she needs everything a certain way. Do you know how amazing and fulfilled that I feel that I was able to go into and buy a washer and dryer? It's just a washer and dryer, Kalfas. No, it's not. That's a symbol of success to me because when I was a kid, I don't even remember having a washer and dryer, but I think everything we got was, handed down. I could afford to buy a washer and dryer. That's success to me. So my wife and I, she's got my truck right now because it's a little bit of icy roads. And she's with her aunt, and I'm driving her car right now. But this is a brand new car I'm in. We both drive brand new vehicles, and I don't even think about the payment. It just comes out of my account, and I don't even miss it because I want my wife to drive a brand new car that's not going to break down. I can really say that it's because of her. I've always been a very motivated, ambitious guy with super high expectations for myself, but my wife takes the cake. But I can really say that a lot of my ambitions to be the best I can be derive from loving her so much. And for the first time in my life, I am a provider. I am a provider. And I've never gotten to be that ever before in my life. And the feeling of being a provider, I take so much pride in it. We got snow yesterday and again to this morning. Dude, I got a snow blower, a nice Toro, and I snow blowed I like doing my own snow. I could just hire somebody, but I actually like to do it because I like to put on podcasts and listen and do the snow. But so I do the snow, and I got some bags of salt, and I'm out there listening to my podcast, and I know my wife's inside cleaning the house and making coffee, and it's like a real family. It's a real house. And then I come inside and I walk on the kitchen floor with my shoes on, and my wife starts bitching at me because she just mopped all the floors. And then I put my head down and I sulk because I'm upset because I think that she's being a bitch, but she's not at all. She just mopped all the floors. And then she'll start mopping all the floors again, and I'll try to take the mop from her. I'm like, no, let me do it. I forgot. I had my shoes on. She's like, I just fucking mopped all the fucking floors, Keith. You know why? Because you don't give a fuck. That's why. She goes off on this rant, right? And something about that is so exciting to me. I'm so highly attracted to her when she's angry. I can't even explain it. But I'll try to take the mop from her. And even if she does let me mop to clean up the mess I made, I don't even know how to do it right. Like, she does it, and then she gets frustrated, and she takes the mop back, and now we're fighting over who gets to mop the floor, and then I start laughing, and then she thinks it's not funny, and then it's awesome. So, another thing that you do when you hit a 6-figure business is you can afford to buy groceries. You know, I remember looking at waiting until the toilet paper got down to 1 roll or we ran out of water. Like, we lived hand to mouth, breath by breath. And now I go on the internet and I order bulk paper towel, toilet paper, maple syrup, dishwashing detergent, cat litter, garbage bags, and FedEx trucks show up with enough supplies for an army. And we never run out of any of that stuff ever because it's stockpiled in my house. And I know I have a budget of it's at $1,040 per month to feed the cats and dogs and go out to eat once a week. And the rest of the nights we eat at home. And I pack a lunch for work just because I like to, and it saves a shitload of money. But what I mean is I don't even think about it. I literally press the button and I'll spend $600 or $330 in groceries, and I just place order now, and I don't even care about the cost of it because I know it's a fixed cost. I don't stress about the cost of gas in the car. I pull up at the gas station, my wife bitching at me, "We got a membership at Costco and you could save 4 cents a gallon." I have no idea because I don't care, and I'm never going to go to Costco and wait in line to get gas to save 14 cents. I just don't care. But, I just pull up at a gas station and I fill my trucks and equipment all the way up to the top. And I don't even look at the cost of gas because at the end of the year when I do my taxes, my P&L statement says exactly how much I spent in fuel, right? I look at these things on a quarterly, monthly, or even a yearly basis. I'm not looking at every transaction. Looking at every cost and obsessing over things that are fixed costs can keep you broke. Now, obviously, I don't want to even get into the world of shopping around for insurance, and because if you try to get the cheapest insurance, you probably will be getting the lowest liability coverage for your state, which could actually be dangerous to have the absolute cheapest insurance. But I won't talk about any of that. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that stuff and get that stuff off my chest, because I can't really say stuff like this in YouTube videos. It's not what my videos are about. But I do want to say, when you can finally afford to... here's something I did last week. My wife and her sister and my brother-in-law and all their kids, you might have seen their kids in my videos, my little nephews. They're brilliant kids. I'm like, you know what, why don't you invite everybody over? And your mom and my father-in-law. And it was about 5 p.m., so I knew everybody was going to eat dinner. And we all lived near each other. I was like, you know what? I got on the phone. Hey, everybody want some Greek food? Want some Greek food? Huh? We're going to have chicken kebabs with rice and spinach pie and soup. And it's going to be delicious with pita bread. And I'm paying for it. Kelfus is paying for it. Everybody come over our house. Come over. We'll see you at 6:30 on the dot. They're like, are you sure? Okay. And everybody got excited. I called everybody and literally in a half an hour, everybody showed up in our driveway, and we had the whole family over. And I went into the Greek restaurant down the street, and I ordered a big carry-out. Dude, it was like $165 with a $20 tip. It was like $186 or something. Whew, that was expensive. But then I brought 6 big bags of all carry-outs, and everybody had chicken kebabs, and everybody was sitting around eating and smiling, and I paid for an experience, and it was a great experience, and I was able to create that out of thin air. And then after everybody ate, we all gave each other hugs, and then they left, and we cleaned up. But what I'm saying is that when you have some money in the bank, you can afford to do anything. You're not stressing anymore. And really, all this really extra takes is just a couple extra $1,000 a month. I don't know where you're at right now in your business or in your life, but I want to tell you one thing. If you want to make more money, if you want to get to the next level or the next step where you feel like it's impossible to get there, it's totally not impossible. My friend Joshua Latimer says people that are dumber than you have become way more successful than you. If they did it, you can do it, right? But it could seem like a couple extra $1,000 a month and is so impossible, but it's really not. It's a piece of cake. And you got to feel you deserve it. You got to feel worthy of it. And you got to tell yourself it's easy. Then go out and look at other people that have done it. There's tons of courses and programs and podcasts and things that can teach you how to sell more, make more money, close better jobs with better customers at higher rates, make more money, manage your money, control your spending. And little by little, a year from now, a couple extra $1,000 enough, you're like, oh my God, why was I thinking so small? Dude, I am telling you right now, I grew up poor as dirt, surrounded by poor people, and all they thought was poor thoughts, and that shit permeated my brain. And now I'm on my way to being rich. In fact, I'm going to be the richest person I know. I just know that. See, even though I'm not there yet, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to be the wealthiest, richest man that I know of my friend group, of everybody I grew up with, all my friends and family, hands down. I'm even going to be richer than Eric Reno. My friend Eric Reno has a $5 million business. If you say something and you know it, and you say it with confidence and certainty, and you believe it when you say it, and you believe in yourself, and if resistance comes up, you just take a breath and you just keep breathing through that, keep repeating it to yourself, feeling it, and normalizing in your system as though that's totally normal. Albert Einstein said that, whatever frequency you vibrate at, the universe has no choice but to show up to match that frequency, because it's literally physics, it's science, it's scientific, it's spiritual too. And all of this boils down to worthiness. I would have had the things I have in my life right now a lot sooner if I would have dove into personal development in a different way sooner and believed in myself. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I mixed that up. All the personal development that I've done in my life and all the books I've read, I used to be so frustrated because after listening to all the podcasts and reading all the books and watching all the videos, I still wasn't making great money. And the one missing element was worthiness. When you feel worthy of it and you believe that you deserve it and you can actually have it on your core gut level, that's when it shows up. All right, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, my friend. Let me pitch something to you real quick. I didn't plan on pitching anything, but hey, it's not even a pitch. It's actually totally free. You can get my 7 steps to marketing your business if you take out your phone and text the word untrapped to 31996. It's a free guide, or you can go to keithkalfas.com/7 steps. Okay, and then if you're already in business, you probably heard the Jobber ad on this podcast. Check that out too. Get a free trial of Jobber at getjobber.com/Keith. And then if you decide to sign up and run your business on it through my link at getjobber.com/Keith, get a free trial and 20% off your first 6 months. All right, my friend, I will see you in the next show. And please go and leave a positive, well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Yeah, because it helps the podcast and helps the show. All right, later. Hey, my friends, I have this awesome free guide that I created that I want to share with you, and it's called the 7-Step Guide to Marketing Your Business. You can get it for free in one of 2 ways. Take out your phone and go to text messages and text the word untrapped to 31996. Or go to your browser and type in www.keithkalfas.com/7 steps. I hope you get the guide so that you can implement it into your business and crush it in 2021. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Untrapped podcast. Please share this episode with somebody you think it will create value for. And we're quickly moving up the rankings in iTunes in the category of entrepreneurship. So if you could please just take a quick moment to click the link below, or just go to the iTunes store and type in Untrapped Podcast, and please take a moment to leave us a well-written, positive 5-star review. It would mean so much, and it really, really helps the show. And as always, you can go to my website, keithkalfas.com, to learn more. Or you can go to my podcast page on keithkalfas.com/podcast. All right, I'll see you in the next episode.